What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? This is Jeff Benjamin with iDownload Blog. I want to talk to you about this new jailbreak tweak. This isn't Auxo, and don't get offended because I'm comparing this to Auxo. It is very much inspired by Auxo. It is called Seng. This is a new jailbreak tweak that's currently in beta, and you can find this in the beta repo that I'm going to have down below in the description. So just check the description if you want to try this out. But basically what Seng is an app switcher replacement that combines the app switcher and control center into one, very much like another tweak that I just mentioned that I'll try not to mention again. So this is Seng. It's by Charlie Hewitt, and there's lots of different options that you can configure to make this look how you want it to look. But let's talk about some of the basics first. Obviously, it's an app switcher. You can invoke the app switcher by using the normal invocation method, just a double press on the home button, or you can use, as you saw earlier, a simple swipe up gesture to invoke the app switcher. And you see these elements here on the bottom and on the top. These can all be customized. You can put certain things on the top, you can put certain things on the bottom, however you want it to look. And the app switcher cards will actually fill out the amount of available space depending on what you have. So if you have just a little bit of stuff like this, then you're gonna have some fairly large app switcher cards. And if you have a whole bunch of stuff, your app switcher cards are going to shrink down a little bit. Now, of course, you could still swipe up on an app switcher card to kill that particular app if you want to do that. And you can also swipe down to bring it into view like that. So that's a nice little option. And let me mention one other thing. There's an option in the settings to basically use a kill all gesture. If you swipe, I believe it's up on the home screen app switcher card, that'll kill all the applications. You can see all the other apps that were there are no longer there. So now let's go into the settings and let me show you some other cool things about this tweak. Okay, so here's the settings app, and here is the preference panel for Seng. You just tap that, and it's fairly simple layout here. You have at the top, you have top view sections, you have bottom view sections, and then other options. So there are basically three sections that you'll need to be aware of when setting up Seng. So let's go into top view sections first, and you can see these drag handles here. You can drag things between the included section and the not included section. So say I wanted just to drag everything out of the included section, right there on the fly, you can see that those volume sliders and brightness sliders that I had there earlier are no longer there, and the app switcher card is larger. Now, if I go into the bottom view section, I can do the same thing. Just take these and put them under not included. So if you want to, you really can use this without any additional things like that. So you have some really large app switcher cards there because there's nothing else there to take up the space. But obviously, since this is replacing control center, you're gonna want some things there in order to use things like toggles and transport controls, etc. Now, some of the options have individual options. So you can tap on those, you can tell by the little arrows next to them. So media transport controls are buttons, for instance, and when you tap that, you can see this extra option here, show only when playing. So that's kind of nice because that will make it so that even though I have media transport buttons enabled, it's still not going to show because nothing's actually playing, no music's playing. So let's go into the music app here and let's play a song. We'll find something. I don't even know what's here. Wow. All right, let's try Best Coast. All right, so I'm just going to play that, and it's playing now. Now watch what happens when I open up the app switcher. You can see the transport controls are there, including the little heart like button and the sharing button. But that's nice because those appear on the fly. Now when I pause this and I close out of the app switcher, reopen it, they're not there because nothing's playing. So very nice little setting there to have to configure the options for Seng. So as you see the basic premise of this. You can drag stuff between the included and not included. So I'm going to add some other stuff. Let's add the big scroll view. So what big scroll view does is it actually has three different sections you can include. You can include your toggles, your quick launch buttons, and your airdrop and airplay. And then you can scroll in both horizontal and vertical directions. So right now I have it set to horizontal. And what this will do is I can scroll like this between these sections. And I can also switch between vertical scrolling. So I could scroll like that if I want to. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's go back. Let's go to the top view again. I like to have something up there at the top, kind of like having the media titles view up at the top, along with a volume slider. So that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna go back and play that song again. And I'm gonna swipe up. So you see that? You can really customize this to however you like it to look. It's really cool. Another thing I want to show you here in the settings, if you go back out, go to other options, there's quite a few different settings here you can set up. There's the quit all. I showed you that initially, where you could swipe up on the home screen app switcher card to quit all apps. There's also close from corners. This is probably the most significant option in this other options section. Close from corners allows you to have Zephyr-like close gestures. So right now I have it set to both. So if I slide up from the corner, oops, like that, you can see I can actually close that app out, and that works on either corner, just like that. Now, of course, if I slide up in the middle, I get the app switcher with the control center and all that. But you can actually change this, and again, this is all on the fly, so I can actually change this to make it so only the right side is the method for closing an app. So if I do that on the left side, it just opens up the app switcher. So all that's done on the fly. You have the hide icons option. I have that enabled because I think it looks better with the app switcher cards, but if you turn that off, you'll see the icon underneath each application. Some people like that because it helps them to better be able to identify what's actually there. Sometimes the screenshots for the app switcher cards aren't exactly the best. Like if you're on a page that's kind of weird, or if it's just text, it's hard to tell quickly what that app is. Well, this allows you to quickly gauge as to what the app is by looking at the icon below. But I think it looks cleaner with hide icons enabled. So ladies and gentlemen, that is an overview of Seng. It is still in beta, but you can find it on the Charlie Hewitt beta repo. I'll have that down below in the description. Again, this is a really good tweak. It's very much, I have to say it again, it's very much inspired by Auxo, very closely inspired by Auxo 3. So, you know, you got to give props to Auxo, the originator, but this is really good, and it works on iOS 8.4, which is super important, right? But this is really good. I have to give Charlie Hewitt props for this. It looks really good. It works good. Not a lot of bugs I've noticed at all, even though it's still in beta. So again, if you want to try Seng out, check below in the description. Also, leave me a thumbs up if you appreciated this walkthrough. It really does help out. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. This is Jeff with iDownload Blog.